Sorry guys for interrupting. We are going to follow the lesson. I think we stopped at the parent of the sine. Now we are going to take the parent of the cosine. So let's make it b. Y equal cosine x. It's very important to memorize also the parent of the cosine. First of all, remember the period, still the same. 2 pi multiplied by b, which is 2 pi times 1. So the period is 2 pi even. Now we're gonna make the parent table. It's very important to memorize it, starting from 0 all the time. So we are going to graph over the interval 0 to pi. Only one cycle. Now pi out of 2, pi, 3 pi out of 2, the same as the cosine, the same as the sine. So the cosine and the sine, they have the same x values, but only the different in the y. So now look, cosine 0 is 1, cosine pi out of 2 is 0, cosine pi is -1, cosine this one is 0, cosine 2 pi, again it's 1. But you notice that the startup is different. We need to start from 0, 1 here. The cycle is very important to understand from where do we start. So the 0, 1 is the startup. So we start as usual, put the 1 here. And remember that even the cosine must be between 1 and -1. You can draw it at the beginning, which is better. This is -1 and 1. So I understand that the whole curve is between them actually. So this is the 0. This is the 0. Then we start by, and look at the interval guys. It's pi out of 2. Is the part, each part is pi out of 2. Notice that the difference between each two successive points is pi out of 2. Pi out of 2, pi out of 2, pi out of 2. Look at the difference between the point, which is 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. So the difference is 90 degrees. This is pi out of 2. And we can move to the pi, which is here. So pi out of 2, 1. This is one of the, pi out of 2, 0. Pi -1. We can make it as minimum. And this is the max, actually. And 3 pi out of 2, 0. Again, we are here. Of course, it's not easy to write on the pad, guys. So sometimes you find that I have some mistakes in the handwriting. But it's okay for you. 2 pi. Again, we have to reach up 1. So just now you connect between them. I will use another color. I can use the red. Bismillah. Oh, it's not good. So this is one cycle. We can make it better. Yes. So this is one cycle of the cosine. We can make it here without points if you wish. I can make it here. This is another one. So this is how you start. This is -1 and this is +1. This is the cosine over one cycle. Of course, you can make many cycles if you wish. You can do another one, which is very easy way to get the rest of the points by just adding the period. So if you, for example, so this is a 3 pi out of 2. This is the pi. This is the pi. So if I wanted to do another cycle, so we repeat it again. as much as we can, and even from the negative side. But to get the other point, it's so easy. So you go for the first one, which is, if you remember, this point is 0, 1. You wanted to get the x of this one, just you add the period. So if you wanted to know the next maximum point, so this is 2 pi, if you remember, this is 4 pi. So just you add the period to get the other one. And this is a 3 pi. So notice that the difference is the 2 pi. So to graph more than one cycle, just you can add the period. Add the period for the maximum, add the periods for the minimum, you get the other one, which is so easy to get them. Now we can move to the exercises. We can study the exercises, how we do them. Now it's the most important part. But after memorizing the parent, now let's take a look about the exercises. So example 1, letter A. So y equal sine 2x and 3 here. Let's make it again, sorry. Y equal 3 sine 2x. First of all, if you noticed, we have two transformations. We have 2 and 3 here. So the first one, we have to list the transformation, which is horizontal compression by a factor of half. This is 1, this is 2, vertical stretch by a factor of 3. So if you remember what I noticed and what I said, that the vertical stretch, this is the amplitude. I told you that. And notice that the horizontal compression, which has a factor of half, it will affect the period. It will affect the period. So if you notice now, we are compressing the function. So the function is going to be faster, I mean the frequency. Let's evaluate the period. The period equal 2 pi multiplied by the factor, guys. So now if you noticed, so just you multiply by the factor to get the new period. If you cancel them, you get the pi. Notice that the parent was 2 pi period. Now in this exercise, the period is pi. It means that the function is faster. Let's write the parent table for the sine. Of course, we need to memorize it. 0, pi out of 2, pi, 3 pi out of 2, and 2 pi. It doesn't matter that we have, is it necessary all the time to write it? You have to memorize it. 1, 0, negative 1, and again, it's not easy to write on it. 2 pi, it is 0. This is the parent. I know that you are smart to do the horizontal changes and the vertical changes on the y and horizontal changes on the x. So now we need to multiply by half, the vertical by 3 and the horizontal by half. Let's see the effects now. 0, still the same. Pi out of 4, because we multiplied by half. Pi out of 2, 3 pi out of 4, and pi. Look at the start and the end. Is it changed now? It is the period pi. This is the period. Now what about the y? It is 0, 3, 0, negative 3, 0. So it's so easy to do it, guys. It's so easy to do it. And look at the difference now. Many questions about the how we can do the scale on the graph. How we do the scale. It is so easy. Now look, the step on the period, on the parent was pi out of 2. This is the step. Now you have to take it pi out of 4, which is affected by the half. Affected by the half. So take a look again about the numbers. Now let's do the graph. So easy. The startup also from 0, 0. This is the startup. And of course I'm going to take the step pi out of 4. Here, pi out of 2. Notice that you are adding pi out of 4. I'm adding pi out of 4. 3 pi out of 4. And finally, pi. So of course it's faster. And now look at the maxima and the minima. The maximum now is a 3 and the minimum is minus a 3. So my curve between them now. So let's take 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. We can do a line here like what I told you. It's better. It makes me... So it's 0, 0. Pi out of 4, 3. My maximum point. Again, I'm going to go back to 0. Again, minus, sorry, it's not here. It's gonna be here. And the final answer is here. It's so easy, just you connect them now. Now let's connect them with other color if you wish, just to change the mood. And that's it. I did the 1 cycle of my question and I got the full mark. Now let's move to another one, another example. Okay, you go back to the black color. It's so easy, just you practice on it, guys. Inshallah you are smart enough to do it alone. Y equals negative 3 cosine x over 2. Now take a look. Let's say it. We are now doing the cosine, of course. And how many transformations? I have 1, I have 2, and 3. So the first one, horizontal stretch by a factor, you know the sentence, of 2. You flip the factor, don't forget that you have to flip it. 2, reflection across x-axis, reflection across x-axis. Okay. 3. We have many lines down because my hand touches the screen. I don't know if we can eliminate them. So let's use it. It's all for you. Okay. Let's continue. Vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Now take a look for the transformation. It's so easy to list them. Let's do the period. Did you remember the period of the cosine? It was the rule 2 pi times b. Sorry about my bad pi. And the b, the factor, don't forget. So you multiply by 2. So it's 2 pi times 2, which is 4 pi. Don't forget that the b in the rule is the horizontal stretch or compress. This is the b. Good. Now, after making this, again, guys, what I have to do, we have to do the parent for the cosine x, the parent, 0. It's like the sine, the start, pi out of 2. Then pi, 3 pi out of 2, and 2 pi. But the startup is 1, 0, negative 1. You have to memorize it. We did it a lot. 0, and finally 1. Now do the transformations on the table. Let's do them on the table. Again, here the horizontal, here the vertical. So we multiply by 2. So x, y, So 0, pi, and look at the function now, it's a stretch. 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. It's good. So now look at the range or the period, it's gonna be 4 pi exactly. And look at now the distance, it was pi out of 2, like what I mentioned, multiplied by 2, it's gonna be pi, the difference is pi. Now let's multiply by -3, so it's -3, 0, positive 3, and 0, and again -3. Now it's easy to graph. We do the same steps. So it's 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, and here is the 3. So it is 0 -3, my startup. It's gonna be inverted, guys. The wave is like this, it's gonna be like this. So pi, and here 2 pi, here is 3 pi, here it's 4 pi, blah blah blah. So okay, let's just connect the points. So we start from here again, the solid one that I'm going to connect them. Again here, again the final step is down. Now we change the color. Now just reconnect them. And here it's another cycle of the inverted cosine. We inverted over the x-axis. Okay. So this is the first part of the lesson. Now we have the other problem. The other problem is going to be on other video. The part, I think part 3, is going to be the last part of the lesson that we are going to give us the, they are going to give us the graph. We have to write the equation. See you in the next video, hopefully. Thank you.